Hey, yo, we live, pal.
We
Is
live
anybody
again.
out there? Hello, hello, hello. All right,
Listen,
man.
man. Um, listen, we're gonna keep doing this shit until y'all fucking care.
Oh, they gonna care, all
Listen,
right. All right, man. We about to go in three, two. Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? It's I the Most High. I'm with my tag team partner, CT, aka Chitty Bang. What's happening with you?
what's good? What's good? And we are the Reasonable Wrestling Podcast, the Underground and Professional Wrestling Podcast. If you don't know, now you know. And we're here to talk about the week that was in professional wrestling. But before we get into that, please check us out on RW Podcast One on Twitter. Check us out on Reasonable Wrestling Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, here on YouTube. If you're listening to us on SoundCloud, what's up? Thank y'all for listening.
Appreciate it.
The day ones out there on all the wherever podcasts are podcasted, and all the medias of socialness, So holla at y'all. So thank y'all for listening. We got a lot to talk about today. Clearly,
Do we?
we do,
Do
we
we?
do, we do.
Do we?
It's been a hell of a week. We've had one of the most brilliant storyline culminations in recent memory and probably a long time if you want to go back to the even the shit ever in wrestling, honestly, to be honest, the way that things are told. So we'll talk a little bit about Royal Rumble, the results of the Royal Rumble winners, the men and the women. We're gonna talk a little bit about AEW, what's going on with MJF, Daniel Bryan, Hangman Page, John Moxley, all that good stuff. Jay Cargill won her 50th victory, so congratulations to her. And I do got a little bit to say on NXT because I did watch this week, even though I didn't know anybody on the roster. But let's get into.
Shout out. First and foremost, since we there, shout out to NXT doing a Black History Month like they do every time. And niggas finding out that soul got some soul in it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out
Listen,
to everybody finding out that there are multiple interracials in the company right now. My guy,
yes. Biracial, yes, it's a lot of biracial going on. Even in AEW, man, a lot of the. Is that nigga Action Andretti biracial too? He looks like it.
I don't even know, brother. I can't give him that. I need to see some real life. Listen, when they said Kiana James, right? A lot of niggas was like, look at her shoulders. I'm like, okay, I got you on that one. Yeah, Kiana James got a black mama, man. Shout out to that. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Soul got
I thought that was
daddy.
A spray tan.
Nah, brother, that's her.
I even said, yo, look at that spray tan. Yo, it's kind of. I was like, that's a deep spray tan. Yeah, I said it to my nephew.
She thought she went on her full Ziggler.
I did. I was like, yo, what the hell is with this spray tan? Nah, she's half black. What the? Okay. No wonder she's so athletic. Okay, I gotta respect it, man.
We might need to look at Tiffany Stratus while we talking about her braids and shit. You know what I'm saying? What's her 23andMe looking like?
Oh, word. What's her ancestry word?
Nigga.
But let's kick it off with the Royal Rumble, man. So, as we could only do, we wanted to do a live. We wanted to do a post show. We didn't been able to do that, unfortunately. Sorry, guys. But we are here today.
Yo, hopefully I got all y'all motherfucking takes out and y'all can listen to us.
Everybody got their takes out.
Everybody did talked about this shit now. So now
think pieces on it.
Us. You know what I'm saying?
People are doing deep dives on every little piece of the angle. But hey, rightfully so. I remember, I'm sure you probably remember too. Was it 2 or 3 years ago? I was like, yo, man, why can't wrestling have storytelling like the Game of Thrones, the TV shows I watch? Because it is a television show, and you would tell me, like, nigga, it's wrestling. Like, why do you even care? Like, it's like just it's wrestling. Like, don't expect too much from it, pretty much.
That's what I said.
And here we are in the year 2023, where I feel exactly like I'm watching great television right now. And this is, I'm telling you, I manifested it, bro. Everything that I've talked about on this podcast comes to be. And I'm just telling you, that is what I'm talking about. We're talking about long term, long term. It's not just. I'm not saying I'm the reason that it happened. I'm just saying that I talk about it. It happens. It just happens to be a occurrence that happens quite often with the podcast. But this storyline with the bloodline. Let's take it back a couple months where you start to see Sami Zayn interacting with the bloodline and just trying to be the locker room leader. Like, listen, I'm hearing some things, but I can hold things down over here. It's organically over time built to this point of where Royal Rumble we get to see this culmination with him and Roman. And when he started that whole thing, I couldn't imagine it going this far. Now, granted, we already knew Sami was a great talent. If you know anything about wrestling, the fans know. The fans know, But to see the growth over the past 6 months with Roman, with the bloodline, and the moments they've had along the way, you couldn't ask for anything more in a story. I would say they built it to a point where at Royal Rumble, literally they could have done anything and it would have been a great payoff. But it was even better than I would have expected. Now, with Sami Zayn, Roman, and Jay, those were the three pieces of this angle that really stuck out to me. And I think that it doesn't happen with any of these guys, including Solo and Jimmy as well. But those three pieces in particular, those dynamics, it can't be this good without those three performers. So first and foremost, I want to give a tip my hat to not just Sami, but Jay and Roman, because they are killing it right now. And this is just as good as what they did when they started the whole Tribal Chief angle and storytelling there, because it goes all the way back to that. There's some truth in the story that's being told here, and that's what makes it so dope. But man,
I would like to piggyback on that because I would say first and foremost with this, that storyline is good. It's not. My bad. I would like to say this, and let me go ahead and go live on our Instagram real quick so I can see if I can go viral or some shit like that. Maybe. The bloodline may be a good storyline, but it's not the best storyline in WWE right now.
Are you on crack?
Yeah, your boy Cody is absolutely telling the best story in WWE right now.
We haven't even. Okay. Pause. One second.
Sorry, I acknowledge you, but you are not the best.
Oh God! Don't do this, man! Don't do this. You haven't even given it its proper due right now. I haven't even given it its proper. Listen, for something to build long-term booking over the course of this time and get you to the point where you feel like you're not even interested, you forget you're watching wrestling. You're watching it as if you're watching a regular television show or a movie, and you're glued to it. I'm telling you, Cody's great. We haven't gotten to his storyline even yet. Like, it's still going to be built to WrestleMania. Yes. And I see that he has a built-in real life storyline with that as well, which is awesome. But right now, we got a payoff that not only was a payoff, but a cliffhanger at the same time. With Roman, Jay, Seth, all that stuff. Now, I'm not going to repeat what happened. Everybody's seen it. If you haven't seen it, check out Royal Rumble, where Sami Zayn hits Roman with the chair. They recapped it on Raw too. You can go to WWE.com, WWE YouTube, and check it out. But Sami has officially turned on the bloodline. But the moments and interactions leading up to that turn and him hitting Roman with a chair were like quality acting, and just like the crowd, the audience, everybody back at home were on the edge of their seat waiting for like the tension of what's going to happen. Because when Roman hands him the chair and says, "You know what? I shouldn't do it. You should do it." That is a character moment where there is no going backwards. There's only forwards, and you have to make a decision right here and right now. Are you with the bloodline? Are you not? And we haven't gotten that definitive moment with Sami yet. We had a little bit of it in War Games where he chose to be with them. But my takeaway from this is that Sami reminds me of the guy who's kind of chilling, or it could be guy, girl, whoever, but you're trying to prove to your love to somebody, And no matter how far you prove it, there's another level where they like you haven't proved it enough yet, and they kind of manipulate you and say, "Listen, I got you here. I got and if you don't go further, then you're not really you don't truly love me the way I thought you did. If you don't, whatever it may be, the people have been in relationships where it's just a toxic dynamic, and I think that what Roman does is he creates a mental dynamic with his subordinates that shields him against any other competitors. So his title reign is protected by the bloodline almost. So he focuses everybody on the bloodline, but what he truly cares about is being undisputed universal champion, and they are like a facade in front of him, like a shield to protect his title reign. And how he holds that is by manipulating them mentally and saying, "Listen, without me, you don't get none of none of this relevancy."
I will say this that's true, and not necessarily all the way his motivations. I mean, he came back and like he told Braun and Bray, right? This shit don't move without me, right? Like you're not a monster unless you're tormenting me. But now I'm the monster. Now what the fuck happens now? And everybody, like, nigga, since Roman came back, nobody's literally been a monster. Like nobody can out monster this nigga. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's not just specifically the bloodline or the championships that he holds. It's the control of the fucking company, right? Because like John Cena came back, did the spiel, was like, nah, nigga, they call me back because you can't handle it. And Roman took that to heart and was like, what? Really? Nah, because them niggas been wanting me to handle it the whole time. Like, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I had no idea that I couldn't handle it. You know what I'm saying?
They were ready for you to go.
You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I think right now, Roman is if we're talking, melodramatic and stuff like that, like he's turning the table of psychological warfare from the fans, right? Those of in control and power that would give it to him, take it back, give it to other people. Seth Rollins called John Cena back, right? Brock Lesnar was like, wait, what? I'm cancer remission, like my title, like I'm the guy. Rock gave me, like, I've been saying this for like 7 years now, right? Mm-hmm. And honestly, I think it took this storyline, it took the change in character. But when you talk about the bloodline in specific, the storyline and tying it into Jay and everything like this, we talked about it last week, right? The bloodline would have been stronger off rip, and we probably would have had Jay versus Jimmy earlier if Jimmy and Jay weren't hurt in their respective time. Well, I think Jay's been relatively healthy, but if Jimmy wasn't hurt, I think the tearing apart of the family and the drawing in between there plays into a fact, because ultimately, if Roman isn't the guy, then the Usos aren't as important, right? Then Alpha and Sika isn't revered and spoken to on television all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I don't believe that. Hey, what's up, bud? My little man just popped up. Shout out to me not smoking right now. Man, dad instincts. I think for the most part that, if Roman isn't the glue, then that shit does fall apart. You know what I'm saying? So I think
let me think. I think I get where you're coming from, and this is what makes it so interesting, because you're 100% right. But at the same time, he is manipulative in this manner when he does it.
Absolutely.
So it's what I like about it is like he's the villain who also has a true claim to the reason why he does bad things.
But and also it doesn't justify it, right? Because I get in arguments. Listen, I get it. I'm married, fellas. Let me show y'all that. Nigga, and none of that shit justifies none of that shit, nigga. I'll tell you that right now. If your woman has something to feel and you got a reason because you did, it don't matter, nigga. So with Roman, it don't matter what his reason is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but on both sides, Sammy hit him with a chair. Like he didn't just beat up Sammy and because he got in the way. he gave him an opportunity to prove his loyalty.
Well,
And Sammy,
I love that because psychologically, right? If we're telling the story, it's a mobster movie. They're going to kill you anyway. Right? You're going to end up in the back of a trunk. You're with a bag over your head with your shit tied, and they're digging a hole. You might as well go out with a shot to the and not to the henchman,
to the mob boss.
Don't waste your fucking opportunity with the henchman. You don't try to do the Kevin Owens approach because again, Kevin, you saw Kevin Owens. I'm gonna beat one by one, and everybody tried to. No. If I infiltrate and I get into it, and I'm Donnie Brasco, right? If everybody saw that movie, right? If you're Donnie Brasco, if you're Sami Zayn, and you're Donnie Brasco, you infiltrate. You take that shot at the boss. You have to, because at the end of the day, yes, Roman's been giving you all this. You just went to trial and niggas showed you that you're loyal and everything like that. But at the end of the day, you know, and everybody's been saying how expendable you've been. Every person in the bloodline, no matter if they hugged you, dapped you, said that you was their brother, they loved you. They've all individually said, Jimmy, Jay, Roman, and all said bloodline above you, no matter what, hard stop.
Yeah.
Right. That has been the story. And Kevin has been the manipulator that he is, because let's not say that he's not one of those, right?
Yeah.
And he's been the one who said, hey, man, listen, if I was you, this is what I would do. And Sammy was like, but I'm not you, right? I'm not you. I would never get that opportunity. And Roman pushed him. Right, like Roman pushes him. Roman gets him. Roman, you can't. I'm a man, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to demean this 57,000 motherfuckers in here. You know what I'm saying? You know, my mama watching, my girl watching. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get in my face and talk about do what the fuck I said right goddamn now.
Yeah, you know, and shout out to the 57,000 because they were like the extra fifth or sixth member of this interaction, because the crowd in San Antonio was with them all the way. Like, even just like before Sammy even hit him with the chair, there was a moment where they thought that, oh, is he gonna do it? And then Roman turned back around, got in his face, mushing him in the face, and all that stuff, and bullying him. And then he finally takes a shot. Crowd pops like fucking crazy, yo. And then he apologizes to Jay immediately. He turns to Jay, apologizes to the guy, like, listen, sorry, like, this is just going too far. It's just too much for him to handle. Jay's distraught. Jimmy's distraught. But Jimmy's just like, all right, enough is enough.
I mean, Sammy, again, we talking about television shows and we talking about character development, right? Sammy knows that Jay took that opportunity. Jay's also a prideful nigga, and the only reason why we are in the situation that we're a bloodline is because Jimmy brought Jay and told him to come together, because Jay was gonna take that shit to the grave, nigga. I'm a dog, right? Because Roman running that nigga face like, nigga, bloodline, but you feed who? Nigga, I'll go eat out the trash can before I tell a nigga he about to give me a steak. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think Jay know and saw Sammy do something that he's like, I would have done that shit. I know I would have done that shit a long time ago.
Also, like, it took a long time for him to get Jay's trust, and he finally did. And once you get Jay's trust, you got his trust. It's like,
absolutely,
you know, there's certain people like, once I ride with you, I ride with you, you know.
Absolutely.
And once he rode with him, and then he defended him in the court, like, listen, I know you guys don't trust him, but listen, let me show you what he's done for us over the past 6 months. And he defended him at the, you know, his claim to be a part of the bloodline. The same dude who was trying to say he doesn't belong, you know, months ago, is now on his side and saying, listen, you're like a brother to me. He turns to him and apologizes when he takes a shot at the leader. And he's like, why would you do this? Why would you do this? And then Jimmy super kicks him and he says, yo, he ain't your brother, I'm your brother. And they just start mauling Sammy, giving a beat down for the ages. And Jay leaves to one of the biggest pops of the night, if not the biggest, which I think probably to me is my favorite part of this entire angle, is Jay leaving. There's so many things that could have happened with this angle, where Jay could have jumped in on the beat down. He could have been the one to force Sammy to take it. He could have done a lot of things, but him leaving adds another wrinkle to this whole thing, where we're like, okay, where does Jay really stand with this thing? And the crowd just got behind him, like saying, you stood up, you did not co-sign what your family was doing, and you walked away. You know, even though moments ago he was beating the hell out of Kevin Owens too. But
I mean, but again, Kevin Owens ain't got no ties to him, right?
yeah, true.
Kevin Owens ain't got no right. I ain't got no trust for this nigga. I don't really care for this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
this is the, you know what I'm saying? Like Sammy is also somebody. Again, Sammy built up this equity to get my trust. Right, Sammy built up this equity to me because out of the other two motherfuckers who are beating his ass, I'm the nigga who literally just saved him and who wanted to get at him the most. You know what I'm saying? I'm the nigga who's take his shirt off.
Yeah.
Shirt off, fools. Like, that was Emmy worthy right there. Nigga, my nigga is off the fucking leash, nigga.
They've had like 3 or 4 Emmy worthy like moments during this angle, man. But awesome shit.
But I love again. This goes back to, like you say, you know, this is great storytelling. That if we are watching the Episonic television show, this is the reason why we come. But as far as wrestling storylines, right? As far as being someone who can be competitive and being the man, right? Cody is building a great case for himself, and moving right along with the Royal Rumble earlier in the day. Earlier in the night. That was the main event. Sammy, Kevin, Roman, Usos. That was the main. But the first match of the night was the men's Royal Rumble, and right off the bat, WWE wanted to establish something first and foremost. This is a new era, and we asked how Vince's absence was going to be seen and felt, and I guess see if the shit was going to be stabilized a bit. And you saw it with this Rumble. The very first entrance was Gunther, and you know, to our, you know, despise when it was like, "Mama named Walter, we gonna call him Walter." No, that nigga Gunther.
He's Gunther, man.
He's earned the respect and the establishment.
Walter was, you know, the walrus. Walter, he's that big one. Gunther is a slim guy who's gonna chop your chest in. Yeah, that's how I look at it. Gunther got himself in shape. Walter turned into Gunther. You know, that's what, you know. And he
like, you know, what
over an
Vegeta
hour
turned into like Super Saiyan Vegeta or some shit like that. Like that's what Walter.
He had a transformation completely. That's what you're saying. Turned to Gunther. They got Vegeta. You got Vegito. He fused. He's Gunther now. You know what I'm saying? You know, but for real, I think that when it comes to the Royal Rumble, I personally, I like the women's one more, but the right people won, you know, more than anything. And when you're going to Cody, when you come to Cody, people wanted to debate whether it should have been Sammy winning it or no. We all wanted Cody to win since let's stop it. We all know that Sammy's great. He's a great talent. Absolutely. He should have a great match with Roman in Montreal, his hometown, Elimination Chamber. Think about that. Perfect spot for him to have you know, a hometown homecoming and be in the main event.
Absolutely.
And then you have Cody, who's had this long journey back to WWE that stems from back last WrestleMania, you know, all his till now, and then getting the injury. Everything has like kind of like synchronistically like lined him up for this moment in LA with Roman, where it's, you know, family versus family. And I cannot be more excited for it, honestly. I think Cody's the only one who has the cachet to really go toe-to-toe with Roman and potentially beat him.
And when we talk about stories, I'm sorry not to cut you off, but when we talk about stories and storyline, when he come back and cut that promo, bro, right, over a year ago, last Mania, right, he come back and was like, yo, this for my daddy, nigga. This for my daddy and my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, God damn. God damn, Cody.
You can't fight that, man. It's real.
Bro. And
you can't boo that.
Bro, and it's and that's this is key word. Real. Right? So when you talk about storylines, right? That melodramatic shit with Roman and shit like that, that's writers, that's construct, that's acting, that's all that. That's production, that's everything. That's great television. Nah, this nigga Cody making me feel some real shit.
Life. It's real
He
life,
making
man.
me feel some real a la Hangman Page. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, yo, I can't sleep. These antidepressants ain't working, nigga. I'm depressed, nigga. I'm like, damn, nigga, like really hitting there. You know what I'm saying? It ain't Eddie Kingston, like, nah, but Eddie Kingston's still real too, but it's still like we've seen that person, like I'm bottom of the barrel, like I've done some bad things, right? Nah, Adam, like I'm trying to be a good guy, nigga, but I'll fuck some shit up
Don't test me.
because shit
Yeah.
ain't right. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's different. That's different emotion that I feel right now because I feel like with Adam, but this is different with Cody. Cody, like, nah, man. The place that told me that I was not good enough, right? Beg me. I'm. There's no doubt in my mind. Cody did everything he could so them motherfuckers can call him. Not so he can call him like, yes, it is. Look at me now. Look what you gave. Look what you could have built up. But he needed to do that so the motherfuckers can call him. Because listen, Drew sending tape in to William Regal, right? Drew hits the road. He goes, but hey, I slimmed up, man. I'm good, man. Jinder Mahal, he said, hey, man, I'm in a. They sending tape in to let niggas know I'm good. No, you got to see me every fucking. Oh, you trying to go against me? Every Wednesday, you see me, right? Every Wednesday, you see me. You see how I built up. You see me go to Japan. You see me go to ROH. Those are minor, but you see me across the hall from you on TV. I built myself up. I built myself so you can call me. That right there is that right there. The ball is in your park. Right?
And with the passing of Dusty, still
Yes.
being still being
The
saddled with
passing
the
of I'm sorry. The passing of Dusty during the storyline that they were having.
and
Again, right, the totality of it all. I slapped my daddy. I told my daddy he wasn't shit. I damn near spit on my daddy and told him I'm Stardust because I don't want to hold the last name Rose. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
nah.
and then they
I'm
skept
sorry. That's
and
the
then
shit that they told me to say. I'm
exactly,
here for
and
my
then
daddy, nigga.
exactly,
Yeah, I'm here for my
and
daddy, bro. Everybody want to say how good my daddy was. Everybody want to love my daddy. Everybody want to be a Dusty's kid. Trip, Seth, everybody, Big E, everybody want to talk. No. I'm Dusty's kid, right? And I got into a little. It's not a debate, but Seahawk. Shout out to the homie Cameron. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to him. He doing good shit, but he considered Seth to be like, I'm sorry. He considered somebody asked him, paraphrasing, who's better? Seth, should he have won because he's better? Cody's got a great story, granted, but Seahawk was like, Cody's the right man for the moment right now. Yes, I do grant it that Seth is better. So you can drop Seth anywhere on God's green earth. He triples his worth. You know what I'm saying? Like Seth is that type. But right now, this moment right here, against who we talking about, the story that we're building, his wrestling has more than one fucking royal family. Like
Mhm.
all of that means that Cody right now is the man for the job right now.
it's the uncrowned prince versus the crowned king of his family, and I'm here for it, man. Like I was gonna say, like the passing of Dusty, him being saddled with that Stardust gimmick, even after that, and then saying like, guys, I don't want to do this, but they forcing you to do it. And he said the only way I can get out and use my own fucking name is to fight for it and get the fuck out this company. And then also, he was just Cody for a while. He wasn't even Rhodes. He had to fight for that name back, got it back, took it across the freaking pond, use it, he got his name and cash value back to a place of relevancy outside of just being Dusty's son, and Cody, the American Nightmare, became to organically grow over time, and that's why I've always had respect for him. Even when everybody was booing, I'm like, listen, I respect him. I can only respect what he's done. The first match he had with Dustin in AEW, man, it just you go back and watch it. It's a heart wrenching match, and it's in honor of their father. You can just see the emotion in that match, and then how he grew. I just saw him like, he has potential to be the man, not only in AEW, in WWE.
I'm gonna be here. Be honest. Got the jack in me. So you know it's gonna be a little however show it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my wife, nigga. I need to go get some now. I don't know what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be honest. I was not a
Okay. Okay.
I was not
I'll bless you, real. I'm letting you cook. Go ahead.
I was not essentially a Cody guy because Cody and AEW did not work. Right? Like
arguable.
No. Like who he wanted to be, what he is, the pyro, the motherfucker. Right? Whatever you want to talk about, nigga. That is not AEW. That is not. That is not. You know it is. You
Man,
know, in my heart,
the pomp, the circumstance, the spectacle.
He wanted nigga that is not AEW, brother. Whoa!
Oh my god, yeah. That's made for WrestleMania. Yeah.
Yo, what I'm trying to say is that nigga had to get up out of there, bro. Like, I'm like, yo, Cody, if you gonna do it, if you gonna be a wrestler, I told you, I said, yo, you can't be a wrestler at AEW and be an executive. You had to be an executive at AEW or go back home and be a wrestler. And that nigga was like, you know what, Chris? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna go back. And I'm telling this nigga been a hit ever since, nigga. He been a hit ever since, motherfucker. You wanna be nice? Let me take it one step further. Cody listened to the podcast and said, "You know what, Most High? I'm gonna go back to WWE."
That's what happened. Yeah. Talk about narcissism, okay? Right? Cody and Chris, you know, they here. You know, they here. But you know, you're right. There's something to that. I do think that he did work in AEW, even though he's getting booed. I think it was a reaction still. He was still like getting one of the most visceral reactions out of anybody on the roster. Now you could have used that energy and pivoted it into like a heel role. You can do a lot of things with that, but it worked. It worked.
I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. He knew. This nigga Cody's like, all right, man. I might run for Senate. I might want to fake the tears. You know what I'm saying? I might want to do all that. But at the end of the day, this nigga's like, I can sell how much at the Alamo Dome? Right? Because AEW ain't been to the Alamo Dome yet. AEW ain't been to AT&T Stadium yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta, like, honestly, like, yo, cool. I got equity in this. I understand that, right? Cash me out. Where's my fucking parachute? Because, nigga, the exponential growth that I can be over here, right? Like over here, nigga, we knew he was coming back. Everybody knew he was coming back. And when Gunther was 1 all the way to 29, this motherfucker here.
Yo, I knew he was winning. Once the match started, when I text the group chat, oh, we're starting with Cody winning? All right, cool. Like, you know, like, but he came.
Cody winning. We waited until 30. He didn't even. He didn't even come back. It was like, I'm gonna beat the record. I'm gonna go.
But respectfully, think about it. Everything happened for a reason. Listen, he had an injury of a pec torn, and he tore off the fucking bone. Had a Hell in a Cell match, and had to leave. You know, and even that kind of hiatus, I think, makes us like feverishly like, oh, I can't wait for he to come back, because we saw what he gave up for us, like that entertainment value what he did with the Hell in a Cell match. Got a lot of respect for that. And he comes in at number 30, but he doesn't just come in at number 30, eliminate Gunther, and it's over. They do like a full match, dog. And he's getting chopped, he's getting beat the hell down, power bomb, all types of shit. After in this first game,
it was a la it was a la HBK Undertaker. Right?
Yeah,
it had a little mini match where I do respect, again, you know, not giving Cody the 30 spot and then automatically come out, top sneeze over, win. Like, nah, nigga. Like, and honestly, we knew Gunther wasn't gonna win, but Gunther was also like, nah, nigga, you gonna take this shit with you.
Yeah, you gonna feel it. You gonna feel it. He's like, welcome back, nigga. Welcome back. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I thought that was honorable. And then hearing him afterwards in the press conference, like, he's just a real dude. He's genuine. He's authentic, and he's not always for everybody's cup of tea. Honestly, he's not. But
I will say this: we can tell when people are inauthentic in a place where they're not fully authentic to themselves, right? And I will say that Cody was trying to adapt in AEW,
yeah,
right? Because as much as his dad was the against the grain, fight the power. I'm a like Cody is that as well, but he also is again. He's a person that understands and dig structure. He also he wants his independence right from that, and he wants to be able to be like, hey, I think I worked up the equity with my name and every. If everybody else gonna come in this motherfucker with a name, nigga, I got a name. Y'all built a whole motherfucking shrine to my daddy. Like, yeah, my name should be able to carry some cachet around this
the ring. Exactly,
you know
the name Rhodes for it to ring as far as it does, and for there to never be a world champion in the family, like. Growing up in that and saying, you know what, I want to do that one day. I want to be the one who gets the title for our family. And that being a real thing for you, not like it's like, oh, in my career, I want to get the title once. No, it's like, no, I really for my own legacy as a man, as a family, as a role that for my dad who did this, who gave his life to this sport. I want to also achieve what he couldn't achieve and go further. That's super honorable. That's something that we can all connect to. Doing something for your family. And
again, I feel apologetic again. Rest in peace to their mother passed away, Cody and Dustin's. I'm not sure if they have the same. They have to say. I know they call their. So. They don't have the same mother. They don't have the same. Okay. Okay. Dustin's mom passed. So that means Cody's mom might still be. And I was going to get to the point where Cody's doing it for the family in the name, and also I think he wants to also do the legacy, right? His mom, who Dusty was Dusty, right? And that goes back to Charlotte Reed, all the kids, right? People who've been with Rick love Rick and also want to see Rick succeed. And the kids of Rick, they want them to succeed as well. So I think around there too, like Cody wants to do it for the mom, right? The one who helped them out and was there when Dusty was on the road and patching them up, right? It's the same thing with if one of the Foleys got into the business, Dewey or Noel, right? I think Mick will be like, yeah, I want them to do that. If Mankind never won a title, right? I think if we're talking about just the generalities of like, yes, somebody was so important, so impactful that never won a world championship, you as a child of that in that same industry will go ahead and want to try.
It's a real life journey story rather than it just being a wrestling story, and you can't write that. It just happens. There's certain things in life that just happen.
That's why I call it the best story, and that's why I call it the best story, right? Because
I hear you, but I feel like there's still more to be seen with this story. So I'm not gonna quite say that.
I mean, we're both. I think we're both, right? I think
absolutely, but we did get a huge payoff with what we saw at the Royal Rumble with the whole Sammy in the Bloodline story. He's no longer in the Bloodline. That's what we know. That after that day.
With neither Cody, is Jay said he bled out, baby.
Woo. We'll see what happens tomorrow on SmackDown, but I have a feeling he might just regret those words.
Speaking of SmackDown, something was very surprising after the Women's Royal Rumble winner, Rhea Bloody Ripley, chose the SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair.
And where's Rich when you need him? I thought he'll be here, but
hold on, let me send a text to this nigga
because he predicted it. He called it in the group chat, and I didn't say nothing. But when he said it, I was like, you know what? Now that you say it, it's not crazy. And her respecting her challenging, Charlotte to redeem herself from WrestleMania. What was that? 30, 34, 35.
Pandemic
Mania. Her redeeming herself, which was a good match, by the way. But I think it makes sense. It's another story writes itself essentially. So as much as we want to see Bianca and Rhea, as much as we want to see Bianca and even Charlotte, I wanted to see. We're not getting either of the matches that I wanted to see at this WrestleMania for Bianca. But I'm not mad at what we're gonna get with Rhea Ripley and Charlotte. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I mean, the story. I mean,
yeah.
Rhea also, Rhea, and the post. Damn, I'm probably speaking loud to the mic. My bad. Let me back up. Rhea in the mic. In the mic. Damn. Okay, let me slow down. Wow. Okay. Rhea at the press conference gave a very logical answer, which was very. Again, this goes back to not tipping a cap and everything like that. And she was very in the press conference. She said, "Hey, I don't know. I got history. I got story of both of these women, right? People know about me and Bianca. Like we bring the best out of each other. Like that is going to be like she essentially said, paraphrasing, that's going to be it for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Like you guys don't have to rush that." But she said, but when we think about Charlotte, man, like she came for me, guns for me, caught her shot and got it
And won it. Yeah.
and what and got that off me. And honestly, I respect Rhea for like, yo, listen, that's just in the back of my mind. It built me, right? Because Rhea went through, right? She went to the tag team, right? She went through all that, and the transformation of like Judgment Day Rhea. She has that vendetta. She has that.
And now she's like an officially formed Rhea. She knows herself, and it comes full circle. So it's like, all right.
She was cognizant of saying like, listen, I beat Charlotte. I'm a Grand Slam champion. Not many people can say that, right?
Yeah.
And when we saw Ripley, right, like Triple H called her, right, wide-eyed 22-year-old, 23-year-old, however she was coming over, and just didn't know. We still like, damn, NXT UK, like she was over there and she built that brand. She put that brand on her back. Her and Tony Storm built that up, and that's how we kind of grew into that. And then when she came over to WWE, when she came over to NXT in Orlando, she beat Shayna. She was the one who was heisted out like Lex Luger and beat Shayna. And ultimately, it felt Lex Luger-esque because she wasn't Brett. She wasn't Shawn. She wasn't like she was leaving after Oscar was Hulk, right? Hulk, whatever, Hogan, right? She was leaving at Macho, whatever. She was in that where people love Rhea, people love Lex. We don't diminish what they were, but they was just in a time where they wasn't who we wanted. And Rhea built herself to be the total package, no pun intended, till we wanted her. But now she's doing things like, nah, I got some things I'm checking off first before I do what you want.
Yeah.
Right? You wanted me. Cool, I'm here. But now that I'm here, let me do some shit that I want to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So I respect her with that.
Rhea is a total package indeed. And without no denying that. She has it all. She has the look. She has the moves. She has everything it takes to be a fully formed women's champion that can have a title reign for a very long time. Matter of fact, if she beats Charlotte at WrestleMania, it makes me want to watch SmackDown more because Rhea and Bianca are the two biggest stars on our roster in the women's division. If you ask me right now, not that Becky, Bailey, who are doing great work, by the way, aren't big. Not that Charlotte ain't big. Not that Ronda's not big. But as far as who's hot, white hot, it's Bianca and Rhea right now.
Speaking of that, wifey asked me that I want to be in the building for Bianca. I mean for Becky and Bailey. But the only seats that are available was nosebleed. And I was just like, man, I don't know if it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? I know, man.
Orlando?
Yeah, man. Raw in Orlando is gonna be nuts.
Listen, it should be. I mean, you might get more than just that. You got, everything going on with, first
nigga, fuck it. I might go just to feel Cody.
Cody's gonna be there, yeah. I like what they're doing with Cody and the Bloodline, Edge and not Bloodline, Judgment Day. But there's a lot that has to go on between now and WrestleMania. We got two matches: Roman, Cody, Rhea, Charlotte. Now, I want to ask you this. When you said quick hitters, I didn't really have any quick hitters because it's a lot to talk about. And I know this podcast has already been 43 minutes long, but real quick, WrestleMania, who's a must? And what I mean by that is that all year long, you have people performing certain acts that must be at WrestleMania. For me, Bailey and Damage Control is a must. Judgment Day is a must. Bobby and Brock is a must. there are certain people that must be there.
Judgment Day for me isn't a must. Edge and Finn is a must. Right.
To me, on some capacity, Judgment Day has to be representative. They put in a lot of work this past year.
I would say for this. I would say this. It won't be Judgment Day as a whole. If we're talking about 2 nights, Ray and Dominic's gonna have their match at WrestleMania, brother. Like let's like
is
that.
He all right? Is Ray injured?
Man, I don't know. I don't give a fuck either, nigga. He gonna
if he is, he can't be there.
Nigga, he gonna be there, just like AJ Styles gonna be there, nigga. Just
okay.
Logan Paul. We thought Logan Paul tore his ACL, nigga. He gonna be there, nigga.
What the fuck is that?
That's what I'm saying, nigga. Nigga's gonna be there.
Yo, Logan Paul and Seth Rollins. That's what's gonna be.
I mean, my thing is, a lot of niggas is upset that. Damn, I spelled Rhea name wrong. I gotta delete this tweet.
I hate when I do that.
Fuck. Nigga, and I am not paying for Twitter motherfucking blue in this motherfucking. Niggas not about to look at us as we lame, nigga, because we had to pay for a check mark, nigga. But anyway, I would say this. I think when you say who has to be a must, all right, let's just do it. We talked about SmackDown. Boom. Let's SmackDown. We know they're gonna split up the titles. They have to. If not, then we know one of the matches is Roman Cody.
I think they might not. Okay. Until something happens, I'm reserving judgment on them splitting it up. Yeah.
Well, so you think Cody's gonna win both titles if he wins,
and then put them together in like a old school world, have double eagled belt, renovate that bitch.
Okay, so I mean, if that's the case, then okay, SmackDown. Are they gonna split up the tag team titles?
That's a good question. That I don't see that happening anytime soon either. Honestly, they're splitting up the Street Profits next week. They're
not splitting them up.
Well, you know what I mean. They're not like
I know, but I think that goes. I think this goes back to when we talk about roster construction, right?
Mm-hmm.
This goes back to why Mustafa Ali and Dolph Ziggler can't have a match when they had a backstage segment, right? You don't have to put Bronson Reed in it, and then you have Mustafa Ali enter the United States Championship match by beating Dolph by nefarious ways. Like there's shit like right, you know what I'm saying? But we're in Raw. We're not talking about SmackDown, right? We
can talk about whatever, man. But I hear what you're saying. My point was, with the Usos, they had to face a viable tag team that's hot, and there isn't one. Only thing I can think of is that you go against Sammy and KO. If there is not another tag team that they're going to create to get that fire hot shot to WrestleMania, then keep it on.
No, I think with this.
Alpha Academy. I mean,
no. I would say first and foremost, there isn't a viable tag team that right now is WrestleMania worthy. But I mean, there's not to say if Roman's performing back-to-back nights, which we thought and we kind of predicted, there's no reason why the Usos can't. You know what I'm saying? I think, but if they were split up one before WrestleMania, I would say that if for tag team.
Okay.
But if you want to say must, okay, SmackDown again, Roman's a must, Usos a must. We talk about Sammy is a must on some capacity. We know Charlotte Rhea's a must. Mm-hmm. Gunther's gonna be a must.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely,
so. Yeah. Who else on SmackDown? Right, I think. Do we need Shayna? Do we need Ronda? You know what I'm saying? Do we need Liv?
No, we don't. I think Liv might be. It might be Liv and Sasha. It might be Asuka and not Sasha. It's Asuka and Liv and Bianca. Asuka and Bianca. It could be those two matches are what I'm looking at for Bianca. To be quite honest.
I mean, Naomi might make a return to the Elimination Chamber.
I don't want to hold my hopes up with Naomi, and I didn't want to do that for the Royal Rumble either.
I didn't.
You know, and everybody's talking about Naomi coming in, and people were disappointed that she didn't show up. But I'm like, and then Nia Jax shows up, people were like, dogging her again. But like the thing about it, huh?
Shout out to my baby Nia coming back.
Big fine.
Big fine. Shout out to fucking Big Fine, man.
But what my point is that with Naomi, I don't see. It didn't seem like an amicable split from WWE, and that's why I didn't see Naomi booking her to win the Royal Rumble. My Royal Rumble picks were Rhea Ripley and Cody, and I was right on both picks. But that Rhea Ripley pick was because I'm reading the tea leaves. Of course, Naomi had a amicable split, or she got injured, or she took a hiatus. Possibly, yeah, she could have came back, but looked like her and Sasha had a real big problem with something that happened that we don't really know the full story of yet. So I kind of was like, yeah, and just because of that, I would love to see Bianca and Naomi. I don't know if it's possible, but and I don't want to call my hopes up.
I mean, I think even I mean, right now, like like the Elimination Chamber right now is the last four of of the Royal Rumble minus the winners. So Nikki Cross, Asuka, Carmella, Nikki Cross, Asuka, Liv, and Raquel Rodriguez. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Is in there, and then they got qualifying matches next week with Carmella. I think she's returning. She's going to probably be in there, and then they got the 6 women, right? So we got with that being said, who's a must for WrestleMania? I think like realistically, I would love to get through Chamber. Right, Chamber to me is going to be nice because this is the United States champion again. It's going into Raw. I would have loved to have seen Mustafa Ali in there instead of Bronson Reed, but I know Bronson Reed came back and he's in a viable spot, but he's going to lose anyway. He's not going to win, right? So why put him in there if he's not?
I would like to see Mustafa too.
There, you know what I'm saying?
But sometimes they need a big muscle meat guy just to change up the.
You kind of do, but I mean, you do, but you don't. You know what I mean? I think with that being said, if we're talking about building that, we're talking about mid cards, right? Gunther's gonna be. We talking about Gunther's gonna be at WrestleMania. Who's his opponent? Or who's his opponent? There's no elimination chamber for that. You know what I mean? Braun Strowman and Ricochet has moved them. They're intercontinental shit to the tag team title since we said there's no tag teams available. So who is Gunther's opponent for the Intercontinental Championship? You know what I'm saying? Like so, I would love to just wait for Elimination Chamber to play out. We got it next month. Shit, this month, February. Shout out to Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be in Montreal. I don't really know if the French fuck with the blacks like that, but shout out to the French black. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean. With that being said, was there anything on Raw in particular that you wanted to tackle, or anything that caught your eye after the Rumble that kind of got you? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Edge is back. That was cool. And like you said, him and Finn, I think would be good showing at WrestleMania or whenever they link up, but probably at WrestleMania. Bring the Demon back. That I Quit match. We also saw how it ended.
I think Elimination Chamber might be. I saw somebody put this out, and this is not me. And I think Elimination Chamber would be Cody, Edge, Ray against Judgment Day. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That kind of got a nice little filler, right? Because Cody just did it with Finn. Edge came to help. Cody was there to help with Judgment Day. So I think we get all that intertwined for Elimination. So I just want to throw that out.
No, you're right, and I think that they can't afford to have Cody just not be up, Montreal. He's gonna be there. He's gonna be wrestling. So him and Judgment Day will be linking up, and then that gives you a stopgap. So you get to the, all right, the end of the blood feud between Finn Balor and Edge, which I think they have had a good feud. They've had a really good feud over the past couple months. I think the way they took him out, the way they took out his wife was awesome. And
Edge came back and done. Edge just came back from his neck injury and was like, "Yo, I want to do shit that matters." Right, Randy mattered. Greatest wrestle match ever was a stretch, but that's his best friend. They did. I mean, it was. I was like,
you're right.
We can be honest.
Greatest match.
We can. I'm about to tweet that. Can we be honest? Go ahead.
Edge did his thing. Edge did his thing. Came back. Seth mattered. Roman and Daniel Bryan mattered at WrestleMania. everything he's done thus far has, I think, actually had some teeth to it. So I with you on that, bro.
Edge. I spelled that wrong. Edge versus Randy. Best wrestling match. Like, nigga, how you say that like fucking Brett and Owen don't exist? How you say that like Brett and fucking British Bulldog don't exist? How you say that when fucking Ricky Steamboat and Macho Man don't exist? How you say that when motherfucker like how you say that? How you say that when Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat don't exist? How
I
you
don't get
say
it.
that when Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels? How do you fucking fix your rabbit ass, fool mouth, dog face ass lips and say that Edge and Randy Orton will be the very best wrestling match?
It was a good match, but it was definitely not the best match ever. How do you say that when it's Edge's first match back after freaking 7 years, and you know there's no fans in the arena? I don't know. So that's on them. But when it comes down to it, Edge got to be there with Finn. And I think when I look at the United States Championship Elimination Chamber match, I think Austin Theory is like a shoe in to just defend it and win it and get that rub of like, yo, I survived. I would like to see Logan Paul in the Elimination Chamber low key though, and then him build a feud with Seth Rollins. I really would like to see something like that happen, but I'm not. I'm just fantasy booking.
Oh
Yeah, I'm
shit.
fantasy booking Logan Paul. I can't believe it. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit now.
Oh, you ain't feeling it?
I mean, nah, I'm just saying I'm all right. You feeling frisky. That's frisky.
I mean, he
All right.
probably got. Listen, that was an incredible spot he did at the Rumble with Ricochet. So, like the guys, he seems to stun the audience every time he's out there. So, he's just natural. So, I got to hand it to the guy. Other than that, Raw, it was a good show, and I think it was more of a show about Cody coming back and him establishing himself as the star on
Absolutely.
Raw.
Absolutely. Now, since we did talk about Raw, we tapped in a little bit about SmackDown. We're going to see it tomorrow. Let's go into the show of yesterday, AEW, which started off John Moxley bleeding in the first 7 minutes of the show, right? John Moxley and Adam Hangman Page tried their best to put on what everybody thought was a banger. Can I put a little water on that?
Yeah, sure. You can do whatever you
That, wa-
want, bro.
that was a good outing, my opinion. Those I want to say I can't do none of that shit they do. Right.
Listen,
First off, and say that I can't do nothing. Right, because that's criticism, right? Where you nigga like let's first and foremost, niggas get talking shit about LeBron James and shit like that, and Jalen Rose be like, "Hey, Skip, did you score 1.4 as a JV junior?" And Skip like, "Yeah," and just you ain't got no credentials. Cool. I don't even want to be in that. No more. Don't
here
come
we
press
go.
me. I can't do no shooting star press. I can't do it. I can't take a bump, nigga. The VA gonna take my money, nigga. No. Okay. So let's get that out the way. Moxley and had a Hangman Page. They had a really good match. They did. Was it the best out the three? No. When Page and Moxley was going at it in Cincinnati before he knocked them out, that was on their way. Now again, all of that led to the animosity of this match. I get it.
Mhm.
I'm not, you know what I mean? But there was animosity previously. I
Yeah,
mentioned the
yeah.
promo, right? There's the I'm not a kid, I'm a grown ass man. There's, you know what I'm saying? Moxley is like, yo, I'm the baddest motherfucker here. And Paige is like, nigga, what? All the shit I've been through, you the baddest. And Moxley's like, yeah, bitch. All the shit that I've been through, nigga, I'm the baddest motherfucker. Like, that was prior to Adam getting his ass knocked out. And in that match, that was really, and this match, they went at it. But you can also tell a little bit was like, yo, we go. It's tough for me to say. For me, I don't want to say they was holding back. But I wanted them to beat the shit out of each other more. Is that a fair
Hey,
thing to say?
hey, I'm not here to judge on what's fair or not fair.
Okay,
But you
okay.
said
Well,
it. You have
okay.
your
In my
opinion.
opinion, okay. In my
You
opinion,
have your
in my
opinion.
opinion, okay. Well, I have an opinion. I'm gonna
But
use
for me, it was a banger, man. I can't hate. It was a
I
good
don't. I
match.
don't want to hate. I
And
don't want to. I don't want
the
to hate.
finish was the finish. I think that's what you might have like little what you say
Yes, yo.
little
Listen,
reservations on is the finish.
beat the shit out of each other a little more. Listen, that little 2-3 minutes that y'all had at the end of the match, that matters in the match. That time matters. You don't have to have that. You can have Adam beat him for another minute and a half, and then Moxley with just the moxie, right? No ring awareness, right? Overzealous Hangman Page just want to hit his finish again or want to do right. Moxley, like you can give me an extra minute and a half of that match. I think one, it was too abrupt. I think like what?
You trapped him.
Right, right. Really, Moxley like you gonna beat the dog shit out of each other. And that's how you win. Like no,
They
no,
beat
beat
each other up pretty.
Nah,
But here's the thing: you gotta understand, it's an opening match on a Dynamite, and if they gave me what it's
I
got
hear
shit
you.
going.
I know it was provocative. It gets the people going. It was great. I'm not gonna say that it wasn't. I'm honestly not gonna say that it was a bad match. I'm not gonna say it was a bad match. But what I'm saying is that's this. When Moxley and Page give me everything that they gave me, all of the animosity, all of the shit, all of the like, there's no title, there's nothing, right? Because Page was fighting for the title, right? So he had to control himself. There's certain things, there are elements in a match, championship match you can't do. There's things that you're not gonna go to because you don't want, nigga. There's nothing online. I've been saying I'm gonna beat your ass for a month, 2 months. I've been saying like, yo, the doctors told me I had to fucking hold all this shit in because it had to come out in this match. I gotta beat the fuck out you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta take. I know I did a table spot. We power bombed you. I know you bleeding and shit. Like I know we did the forearm exchange, and then like, nah, bro. Like it gotta be where commentators like, yo, I don't know if Moxley can finish. I don't know if like it gotta send me through that wave. It gotta
I don't know
send me.
if this is over yet, and this is surprising, but I don't know if it's over yet. But it said it's gonna be the final thing. But the way that it ended, it seemed like they were flipping each other off, and they still got beef. But I don't think that's gonna happen like another couple months. Probably they're probably just gonna have beef, low key beef.
So if it's gonna be that, and it's gonna be in the background, then you wasted that.
I don't
Because
think
you don't hear me out.
Go ahead.
If you're gonna bleed it out and they're gonna have low key beef in the back, then what you need to do is when Moxley knocks him out and Hangman is trying to get back into him, Moxley needs to dismiss Page.
But you look at this from this point, like I think from storytelling, and I hear you. And real quick though, from a storytelling standpoint, I believe that this match showed that Hangman Page is on his level. He just outsmarted him with the innovative pin maneuver and escaped. Listen to me, and escaped him because Jon Moxley knocked him out, and then Hangman beat him in the match, and now Jon Moxley is like, oh shit, this guy is a threat to me, to the point where the rest of the Blackpool Combat Club has to come out and get between them, like, yo, chill. You don't want any fight anymore. You know, we don't need y'all fighting anymore. It's over. You know, like they want to continue to fight, but Jon Moxley has to respect the guy at this point. That he has beaten you flat out, and then you had to escape the next match, like by a flat out pin. You didn't knock him out again, like you've been planning on. You know, so.
But this is my point, and this goes back to storyteller, right? If they know all along that Moxley and Page is going to be extended, you can't have Page take another fucking loss.
But he didn't lose in a way that's like he's like definitively lost. You just would have had Page beat the shit out of Moxley, one of your top baby faces?
Excuse me?
You think you would have had Page just beat the shit out of Moxley and one of your top baby faces?
Bro, I'm sorry.
I mean,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for me. Yeah, yes. Because listen, we've already been taught. You wanted to turn Mox heel already. We're not turning Mox heel. You talking about being on our level, right? Being on a level. What does Mox do? There's no mercy, and you don't fucking pin me twice. right? I
All
don't
right.
lose back-to-back matches. Moxley does everything he can to win. Page should have went the extra mile with Moxley. You knock me out. If I can't knock you out, you're not gonna get no pussy ass roll up win.
They need a KO match. Like you got to knock the person out to win, kind of like or a last man standing match, something like that. If that's the case, if that's what you want, and maybe that will happen at the next pay per view.
I can see this story being like, yo, once and for all, like you said, a KO match. I love that. I love that. But that's my thing. If you're gonna what do you do? What did you do for Hangman right now? Honestly, what the Hangman gain for getting like this wasn't scripted? He got literally knocked out of competition for 2 months. And what did he gain by losing that return match?
I don't know.
What did he
Here's
gain?
the thing. I don't know right now because we haven't seen the finish of this. Maybe it is going to continue. I think that if this is the end, it's kind of a poor way to bring him back. Don't get me wrong. I get where you're coming from. But if they continue with it and they do have like a lights out match, not a pitch black match, but which we haven't talking about. I want to get your opinion on that a little bit later. But I like, you got to knock the opponent out to win. And it's like, one of the mid card matches or, in the next year review, that would be dope. I think, you got an hour match already on the card, but to get something like this to start the show out would be cool too as well.
I would say this, I know you say realistically, I don't believe that I don't believe
you try to get him in his own finisher, the bulldog, choke, and he knows how to counter his own finisher. So I mean it made sense to me, but I don't know where it's gonna lead,
I get it. It no, I'm not gonna say it don't make. I don't want to say it don't make sense. I don't want to say it don't make sense. I do for me. Again, when we talk about just awareness, right? And I want to apologize. Paige did beat Moxley after in LA, so I do want to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Moxley didn't win back-to-back matches. Paige beat him, so Moxley had to get that win by any means. You know what I'm saying? To be like, hey, whoa, hey, you know what I'm saying? But I get it. I just with Blackpool Combat Club coming out like, hey, no more fight. That's not Moxley, right? That's nobody steps in for Moxley and throws in a towel or say that. And for that to happen,
the match is over.
I understand. I understand, but for that to happen, it goes back to Triple H Undertaker match. You didn't beat each other ass enough for Undertaker to be like, man, I need to have no, that's not how I go out. I go out on my sword. You know what I'm saying? Triple H is like, man, I gotta come back because I won that match. That wasn't it. If that's the story that you was telling, they didn't go through those lengths to tell it to me, for me, because I don't think that they have exhausted enough in that match to where had to get the win so he couldn't lose twice to this nigga. And Paige is like, no, I need to beat the fuck out you because that's what they said I was going to do. Like that's all I was saying.
I get you. And right now it's February 2nd. We have until the next peer review is on February. What's the name of it again?
Isn't it Revolution?
Revolution. Let me just see this good. Yeah, the next review is March 23rd, actually. I thought they had a February date. No, March 23rd. We got a whole month for that month and a half to build towards a Revolution.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So you talk about another 6 weeks of Moxley and Paige. Like, no, nigga, this shit gotta be like firstborn match. Nigga, this ain't even first blood. Nigga, like nigga, your firstborn gets my firstborn, nigga.
Oh shit.
Nigga, if y'all doing 6 more weeks of this shit, nigga, like God, damn,
shit. But can you let's see? We got. Is it 6 more weeks until Daniel Bryan got a face?
Nigga, and Revolution is March 26th, nigga. Yes. I don't know what the fuck else.
No, it can't be March 5th.
Oh, you said March 5th. Okay, I'm sorry, March 5th. Okay. Yeah, so we got 4 weeks, yeah.
Damn, so Daniel Bryan got 4 more competitors to beat before he faces MJF. What I would say is this: he had a great match with Thatcher though. I forgot about Thatcher.
Bro,
Like,
he
yo,
ain't got no choice to have a great match with Thatcher,
can
bro.
you not downplay the match? It was a great match.
Hold on, I'm not downplaying the match. It's Brian Danielson and Timothy Thatcher. He has no choice but to have a great match. What I'm saying is like, yes, you said he gotta have 4 more matches until he see MJF. Yeah, nigga, he gotta have 4 more great matches till he has a 60-minute Iron Man match and like, yeah. Is he gonna make it? Is he gonna have the endurance? I guess that's part of the story. But you talking about Brian Cage, Bandino, Roosh is his next opponent. He just went through fucking Timothy Thatcher. Went through Kanushka. Kanushka. Damn, am I saying his name?
Takashita.
Okay, yeah. Let me help me out, nigga. Damn, that's why I tagged. Nigga, damn, I tag.
Yeah.
Motherfucker like
Yeah, and Takashita is facing MJF next week. So, I believe that they're taking their time, but they're building the angles. What I like about AEW is I don't look at them like, oh, I'm coming for story development as on the pace of a WWE.
I'm coming from the matches, nigga. I'm coming from
The matches, exactly. And they gave Timothy Thatcher versus Daniel Bryan on a random fucking Wednesday. And she was awesome. And I forgot Thatcher was such a good wrestler. He's a guy who I would have loved to see still in NXT and competing against Braun Breaker. Honestly, I would love to see that. But he's not there anymore. And I'm like, forgot about the guy. And he pops up at AEW. I'm like, oh shit. He has one of the best matches of the night. And I was like, yo, like you gotta sign these niggas. Like, and I think NXT should think about re-signing that guy if they can, because that dude was nice. He still is. I still remember him and Matt Riddle.
I think well, first and foremost, I would say, oh yeah, we're gonna have to wrap this episode. I think Timothy Thatcher is a fantastic performer, professional wrestler. His IQ, his histrionics, I think all of that it plays into the character, plays into his physique, plays into who he wants to portray and wants to convey as a character and as a professional wrestler. I do want to say this: I never forgot about Timothy Thatcher, just like I never forgot about Kota Ibushi, right? And Kota Ibushi just got released from New Japan.
Yeah.
And I think that if Kota Ibushi comes to AEW and miraculously has a match with Brian Danielson, guess what we're gonna do about Timothy Thatcher, like you say? Forget about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to throw no shade and no disparaging remarks about Timothy Thatcher. It's just that, like, yeah, once Matt Riddle then has a motherfucking moment with Randy Orton, or then has motherfucking moments with Seth Rollins or something like that, and he becomes tag team champion, like, yeah, I'm sorry, like, don't forget about Timothy Thatcher. You know what I mean? Like, Timothy Thatcher's in NXT. It's Carmelo Hayes down there, my nigga. Like, you gotta step that shit up other than being a great wrestler. You know what I mean? Because it's something out there that we watching that's other than wrestling. Now, he's in a great space, a great place if all we care about is seeing somebody be the best at professional wrestling, because he then goes over to AEW and has a great match with Daniel Bryan. I'm sorry, Brian Danielson. So I do want to say that, and he's also I do want to give credit to where he's having a great run over in Pro Wrestling Noah over in Japan. He's doing a great work over there. It's not like I'm following it, but it's not like he's sitting on his ass too, like I'm saying, waiting on a phone call, like like we say certain other people doing. Niggas is calling Thatcher. Niggas is like, yo, hey, you want to pull up because we need you know what I'm saying? So I do want to say shout out to Thatcher on that. But also on AEW, it's not just particularly that storytelling that is hit or miss. We talk about Ricky Starks, hit or miss. We talk about Jay Cargill, 50-0, hit or miss with Rev Velvet. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, like what is next? Jamie Hayter, right? She gets challenged by Bad Bunny. I'm sorry, not Bad Bunny, the Bunny. I mean, she gets challenged by the Bunny, but then we get shit to the monitor of her watching Britt Baker get beat up by Saraya and Toni Storm, which I still don't understand. How the fuck did we get a double turn out of these niggas? You know what I'm saying? Like, so again, it's things that I'm watching, and
it's not storytelling wise has always been their weakness. So sometimes they hit, sometimes they really miss. It's like hot and cold with them, and I see that They got to figure out their ways of finding what works for them. And I think that they took it wrong. We still talked about last week. What they did with Saraya and Tony Storm was stupid. It didn't make no sense to me. Where their women's roster is right now. Jade and Red Velvet, good match. I didn't know who to root for. Shit. But
Nigga, you know who to root for. Yo,
I didn't know who to root for.
nigga, that's what I rooting for.
But
nigga.
I'm happy, Jay's succeeding. But we'll go ahead and see how they do until we got like 4 weeks until the pay-per-view. So we'll see where they build. But one last thing I want to touch on is Darby and Samoa Joe. They killed it, man, too. They had 3 matches I thought were bangers on that card. And Darby and Samoa Joe killed it, man. That shit was brutal. And then we get the Samoa Joe winning the TNT Championship back, which he should have never lost in the first place to Darby, in my opinion. But hey, I get it. You got and Darby had a pretty decent run, even though he was very short. He defended it every single week. And then you get Wardlow's return. So now we're gonna get the Wardlow, Samoa Joe continuation of the TNT Championship angle. And we'll see where that goes. So that was pretty cool.
We know where that's going, baby. How Wardlow? How you think Wardlow look? How you think Wardlow presented himself? How you think that?
It was cool.
Yeah, still big as shit. Still,
still big.
y'all niggas was talking about a motherfucking ponytail, nigga. Like
it wasn't the ponytail. It was a principle of the matter of a guy manning, like destroying you and taking your manhood and just like, you know what? I'm cutting your hair without your permission. I'm gonna take this shit as a souvenir.
He came in compromised. But how my nigga look after that compromise, nigga?
He's fine. He's just. I honestly didn't even know that.
Oh boy.
I didn't. Do you understand? I didn't say that he needs a ponytail. I'm never gonna say that a guy needs a man bun. I'm never saying that. But what I'm saying is that the whole angle is that he destroyed him and took his fucking hair, man. You bitched the guy out on national TV, and then had a little dude like Darby Allin come and save you. That's facts. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, we'll see what goes on in Dynamite and Rampage going forth. Anything else we want to touch on before we close things up?
Booking Black. If Wardlow and Samoa Joe re-engage in the TNT Championship match, guess who has to be re-involved?
Hobbs.
Powerhouse. I need man meat. Okay. Let's end the podcast on some motherfucking positivity. I want man meat.
And you paused me for less.
The Arby's of wrestling.
Oh my God.
I want the man meat.
Yo, this is a violation, dog. This is a complete violation. I wish Rich was here, man.
This is the only reason why I'm doing it, because ain't nobody here. I know your ass ain't gonna pause me and do the whoa. Nah, honestly, man. Listen. Run that motherfucking 3-way back, bro, and let Hobbs win. And then we have Hobbs, Wardlow fucking go at it. I want that. Before we get out of here, we always do a Booking Black. Nah. Also, you said that the Street Profits is going to get into the shout out to Montez for it.
Do you put Montez in that bitch?
Do you think Montez in the chamber?
Yes.
You know
Montez is in the chamber. I'm booking it. Yo, Montez got to be Elias. I don't want fucking Elias in the chamber. Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, if hold on. Montez makes the chamber, Angelo Dawkins doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
We're on our way, fellas.
We're on our way. We are. You know, they won both. They won both tag championships before, right?
Huh?
They won both tag championships before, right?
I'm not sure if they won SmackDown, but fuck it, they got to the roster and won a title. They did the thing. They did the thug thizzle, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like I think honestly it's about that time. It's about that. I think honestly I'm not gonna say I think let's do this real quick and then we'll get out of here. The Street Profits has lost a lot of heartbreaking matches for tag team titles.
They
A
have.
lot of tag team title matches where they're hugging each other at the end, sitting down in the ring, just like, yo, Montez shoulder was up. My fucking shoulder up. Why the fucking match stop? Why the fucking match stop? Right? We got all that, right? Bruh, we need another gut-wrenching, heart-stopping, almost there moment. And one of them, I don't give a fuck who is, one of them, I'm done with this shit. I know it's true. I know we do this all the time. But what I'm telling you is, it gotta happen.
There's only so many ways you can break up a tag team, so you're gonna recycle it.
And
But-
I think if Montez do it and Bianca tries to like, yo, that's your brother, what you doing to like listen, Bianca's not heel, but having a babyface Bianca, a babyface Dawkins with the element of Montez, like, nah, I'm going for mine.
Mhm.
Oh, what did Shannon Sharp do when he took that Mountain Dew sip?
Oh boy! Shit! Woo, boy! Yeah,
Boy, I can't wait, nigga. I can't wait. I'm just booking that one time. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, no, I hear you, but let's see. I would just say this. I wouldn't do it before WrestleMania. I would do it after WrestleMania. Yeah, I wouldn't do. Yeah,
I think you have a. I think this happens after like SummerSlam or something like that.
Okay, all right.
I think we have a Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford feud close to Hell in a Cell or some shit like that. It don't have to be in Hell in a Cell, but just at that feud or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
But Hell in a Cell is like
just Montez room at the end of the year. That's this back half of the year. Montez single run into the Rumble. You know what I'm saying? Like we need, Hell in a Cell is usually in October.
Isn't it in June now?
Oh, I thought it was in October. I
mean, Cody and Seth was like in June.
Was it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
They changed it last year. But this past October they had Crown Jewel. So maybe you want to do Crown Jewel. I mean, but here's the thing. It has to be after WrestleMania at some point. I don't care when. But I wouldn't mind them winning another championship run. I want to see the Street Profits together as a heel. I really would like to see that too. And I don't think, I so that's why, I just don't want them to break up quite yet, because I think they could have really good chemistry as a heel team. After you turn Jey Uso, which I think should happen after the Usos drop the title, Jey Uso should get a turn back into a face, or and see what he can do on his own, rather than splitting up, the Street Profits. I think that the Street Profits should be the tag team taking the mantle from the Usos, in my opinion. And then you got the KO and Sammy, who could also run the division as well. But before we head out here, and we just booked 3 people that are black, so that's good. I think 4. I think that we should just touch on our favorite wrestler, Bray Wyatt. I watched his interview with Ariel Helwani, and dude, I just want to give the guy props again, like we always do. But the thing about it is that
Ariel Helwani, or was it Ryan Satin?
Excuse me, it was Ryan Satin. Excuse me, I get them mixed up. Ryan Satin and
not all black people look the same.
Yeah. Hey, man,
how black people feel. Equality.
I'm not even sure if those guys are white. Let's be honest with you.
No. I mean, hey, their mama call them white. We call them white.
Who said their mommy called them white?
I don't know. They ain't got no black mama. I can tell you that.
Shit. Listen, man, Bray's is genius, man. But what I would say, I don't understand this Uncle Howie thing. I'm not gonna try to understand it, but I like the pep back match. I think it was a cool way to market Mountain Dew, even though it had nothing to do with this guy's crazy. That has had nothing to do with the
white. They ain't black.
Yeah, Helwani is not a white name.
I'm sorry.
This guy is cracking us up.
I've been laughing behind that bean for like 2 minutes. They're like, I don't know if they white. Shit, me.
You should
That
cut that clip.
motherfucker's
Off.
white.
You should.
Oh God, please don't cancel us. I know one of them Jewish. So
Are you drinking Jack Honey?
yo, nigga, please.
You drinking Jack Honey?
Man. Oh goddamn.
How many times this nigga gonna cry at this pod?
That was if I pop myself. I ain't gonna lie.
That you did. But yeah, the Bray Wyatt, go check it out. It's Ryan Satin and Bray having talking about his time away. His time came back, and what I've come to realize about Bray is that, at least for me, I know as a writer, as somebody who puts a lot of work into their art form, it's a thing where your characters become real to you. It's not like from like a standpoint of being like schizophrenic, you're talking to people, but in a way you are talking to these characters and developing them based off of your personal real life stories and your interactions, your life journey. He puts all of himself into his art form. It's almost not an act. He comes out there and he does say things, but there, to me, what I interpret it as is kind of like manifestations of his own consciousness. Things that have happened in his life, he takes from his own life, puts it into these deep, interpretive characters.
We said that though. I remember me and you when Rich was here. We was like, "Yo, what is this character? Like, where's the art, right?" And we was like,
Mhm.
me and you had the conversation. Like, I want to know what this howdy thing is. I want to know what's going on. I just feel a little quite disconnect. It's not a connectivity, and I think that was a great insight, kind of to quote unquote what I was trying to give credence to, because as a writer, right, we're
Yeah.
creating characters from people we know.
Yeah, some people our own parts of
Right.
ourselves.
Right. And
Like
we
he
know-
mentioned, what's his name, the rabbit. He said that was the only character part of the Funhouse that wasn't supposed to be originally part of it, but over time it manifested into his own. It started to represent his own resilience. That rabbit represents Bray, or can say, you could say Wyndham's resilience. And I thought that was a beautiful way to put it, because it shows that, like, not just the rabbit, but everything he puts into his characters are pieces of himself and people maybe from his past. So I thought was just great to get an insight into the mind of
right, and
the guy who's creating all
and
this
I was
art
and
form
I was
that we
like,
appreciate.
and I remember last podcast. I'm sorry to over talk you. I know I've been kind of doing that lately. When we was talking about the Uncle Howdy, last podcast we was talking about it, and I was like, yo, that might be Uncle Barry, right? That might be right. We don't know if that, like, we right. We was talking about it, and you're like, I don't know the connectivity of it, and we was talking.
I like to understand things fully, and I can't, and that's when I get frustrated, because I'm like, how do I freaking interpret this? But I'm gonna let it just live and breathe. And when he says, "Hey, listen, I don't even know," that's all I need to hear is that, oh, okay, let's let it just evolve and breathe. I do think the payoff of what he does will be brilliant in the long run, because it always ends up being coming back full circle at some point where I'm like, yo, that was fucking crazy. That was dope. It was kind of, off the wall, but I liked it. Even the pitch black match, I thought the glow in the dark, paint thing on him where he is one way when the lights are on, then the Naomi lights come on and you get to see the glow of, this almost inner demon on this outer physical representation of Bray or Wyndham. I thought was kind of cool, and then you see looking like what's his name, LA Knight, looking like a freaking highlighter straight up out of a marker box. It was cool. Now the people say there was a botch with the Uncle Howdy hitting the leg drop, elbow drop, or whatever. But what I do think about this Uncle Howdy thing is that he can use Uncle Howdy to do crazy shit like that. Like, he's like almost like a part of himself that will go to great lengths to do something drastic. Like, he doesn't need to jump off a Hell in a Cell. He can have Uncle Howdy do it, or he doesn't need to do like the job he did that week. He doesn't need to, do these high flying moves, but he can add that element to his act through Uncle Howdy in a way, which I thought was kind of cool.
And I want to comment on that. You asked, what do we believe
to be. I would say this with Bray. He's the most quote unquote external part of who we believe that we are creatively. As far as like I have a vision of something, I have an idea of something, I don't have it fully fleshed out, right? And when we talk about WWE being SNL, right? He is able to be one of those writers, right? He's us, right? He's able to be like to express creative freedom,
Uh-huh.
the backing with the promotion.
With the money, with all that stuff, yeah.
He has that, and he gets paid for it, right? Like Bray, in all essence, is what we want.
Well, yeah, well, absolutely.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So with that being said, yeah, I may not be cognizant of all that is going to be completed, but I don't know that with SNL either, right? I don't, right? We may have an idea of what the week of pop culture is, but we don't know what their writer Twitter or Instagram feed is or whatever. We just gotta watch that week and see if they connect with us on something.
Mhm.
Bray is the same way, right? We gotta watch every week to see if that writer connects with the continuity of what we know of Bray. In that interview that you spoke of, he gave a great insight of like, yo, I would never be, I can never be, right? Those things that were were right, they existed in time, and with that, those times
Those are like
they can never be replicated.
you cannot wear the Hawaiian shirts without Brody anymore. The Fiend is done. He's like that part of his career is over.
Me and Alexa is still
Uh-huh.
like it's the continuity, right? Right, because he understands. He knows, like, yes, me and Alexa are tied in a place that her and I were in, that only her and I know. And to get out of that, her and I are the only ones with our will that can separate us, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that, like, when we're asking about that too, right? They're like, hey, nigga, we don't know, you gotta see.
Yeah, you gotta wait and see.
No,
You know, and I'm not gonna. And once I hear his explanation, I can't ask for any more than that. And I'm just gonna go for the ride with Bray because that's our dude, man. So, welcome back, Bray. And that shit was I enjoyed the take. He likes to do different things that haven't been done before. So I enjoyed the match, even though some people had some critiques on it. I enjoyed it personally, and I thought it was interesting. It didn't take away from the match that they advertised Mountain Dew with it either. Unlike the zombie shit that I saw with Miz and Damian Priest, this is like a promotion that just added a different element that didn't take away from the match.
Listen, it is what it is, nigga. Bray Wyatt and LA Knight, they be in the Pittsburgh match, just like Miz and Damian Priest didn't have to have zombies, right? But I think that those motherfucking checks cleared and we got what we got. They learned from last time, and at least a nigga ain't get dumped with a bucket of Mountain Dew. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Thank you. There you go. That's all I asked for. Can you not like just KFC, let's dump fried chicken on everybody? like what is going on? Don't make it overt. The subtle way of doing
I can appreciate that New Day was like, fuck it, nigga. It's a bucket of chicken and I get to watch wrestling, nigga. That's what I do anyway. I can't even lie about that, brother. Like, I know the optics was bad. That black niggas eating KFC chicken, but shit, nigga, I did that for free.
Okay.
All right.
That being said,
well, yes, but
I think that's it.
One last thing before we get out of it. One last thing. Everybody knows that infamous poet. I do some shit, wrestling poems, everything like that. It's completely obsolete. A lot of niggas don't know I do it. Everybody, but people who do know. Lanny Poffo, wrestling, the genius, the wrestling laureate, the brother of Macho Man Randy Savage, the person who I first, not me first, but my uncles, because my dad didn't watch wrestling show, my uncles and shit like that, when they laugh and joke and shit, like they not in the poetry, like, who the fuck is this motherfucker? Langston Hughes? You know what I'm saying? Like that, you know what I mean? But as I grow older, or not grow older, but in my adolescence,
the genius, man.
We have the VHA test, and he's prevalent with the motherfucking cap and gown. And he's smarter than every motherfucking body. And shout out to the genius,
And
man.
he's not too old, man. He was like 68, man.
68,
So
68, man, 68.
so yeah, rest in
He
peace,
influenced
man.
niggas that he don't even know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know Scott Underwood. Shout out to my nigga at the Black Guy Wrestling Podcast, another poet. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't know Blizz. I'm pretty sure Blizz is inspired, rated R, Joe Shine. Like, you don't understand how many people you touch, my man. And shout out to the motherfucking genius. Shout out to Lanny Poffo. May you and your brother have a good time wherever you niggas is at in the afterlife. You know what I'm saying? So we wanted to go ahead and with that, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Always love. Everything is wrestling, and rest in peace, Lenny Poffo.
Peace.